Big Basket presents the RCB podcast.
The next generation of superstars from Karnataka are not only looking to capture trophies for the home state, but be the impact that RCB required this season. Today on Big Basket presents the RCB podcast, Bold and Beyond. We're in conversation with Devdutt, Padikkal. Devdutt, thanks so much for joining us. How does it feel, back in the RCB setup after all those years? 4 years? A lot can happen in 4 years for a young cricketer as well. That time you were like in the spotlight. Everyone was tweeting about you. You got the emerging player. What have you learned in these 4 years when you rejoined the ranks?
It's tough to, really pinpoint things that I've learned. It's been a lot of learning. It's not been that easy. Obviously, when you come into the IPL as a youngster, a young cricketer, you're very excited. You just want to go out there and play games. And when you're doing it for your home franchise, it's always a little bit more special. So this was my comfort zone. Once I had to move out of RCB and play for other franchises, obviously, it was a challenge because I was still 21 years old. So I've still not had that experience of, going out and playing in different franchises and doing it at that young age. Especially when you have those expectations behind you of having a good season at RCB, it was definitely a challenge. But that's what I learned, just shouldering that responsibility and, getting over that comfort zone of yours.
Being in the spotlight, is it part of your comfort zone now? Because you got attention very, very early on and there's always expectation and it follows you. There's social media now, you can't escape through anything. So are you comfortable with the glare on you?
I wouldn't say I'm comfortable because it's a lot of eyes on you all the time, right? You, as a human being, you want that privacy. You want to, at times just be by yourself and not be judged about everything that you do, right? But that's how cricket is in India. But you have to find a way to deal with it. And I feel that's what I've done over the years. I've found a way to, manage that side of the game and as much as possible try to, separate that from what happens on the field.
Maga. Weather andre perfect fit. Cinema andre super hit. 10 minutes andre.
Boys, big basket. 10 minutes andre, big basket. 10 minutes andre, big basket.
Big Basket, delivering in Bengaluru and everywhere in 10 minutes.
So you've been following RCB from when you were 9 or 10 years old?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Came to the stands, watched games.
I was speaking to someone about all the memories that I have of, coming and watching.
What were your memories? What were some of your best? Or you can share the hurtful ones also because there's been a lot of pain.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like one of the fondest ones were like I had come with my family and few of my cousins for one of the games, and the game got over. And usually during IPL time, it's always there are a couple of games that there is rains to it.
Yeah.
After the game, it was pouring down, and I used to stay in Alsur, and no, we couldn't get any autos, no cabs. Obviously, after the game, it gets pretty hectic. So we had to walk in the rain all the way back to the house, and that was something that I remember pretty fondly. Like the entire experience of watching a game in Chinnaswamy and just being around the stadium and the people around the stadium during the games, the fans, it's something incredible.
But it must be so surreal because there's no way you could do that now.
Yeah.
There's no way you can walk in. You experienced the fandom. You've been part of the fandom, worn the shirts, had those conversations, walking back as you do.
Yeah.
Now it just must be so different because they're talking about you, Devdutt, when they walk back home.
Yeah, when you think of it like that, it's definitely pretty surreal. Obviously, growing up, I never imagined this could happen. Although I dreamt of it, you don't really believe truly that it can happen unless it happens, right? So when I did end up playing for RCB, it was something that I always dreamt of, right? You go to bed every day, think about it, and then once you're living it, it's really great to have.
But cricket has been like your singular passion. There's been, your families that have moved. You joined a different school because cricket was the focus from so early on. So all your decisions have revolved around this passion.
To be honest, I never understood for a long time why my parents took that decision to especially move states at a point where I've just started playing cricket, right? I'm 9, 10 years old and they have decided to move the entire family to a different state because they felt it was better for cricket here than in Hyderabad. So that is a decision that my parents made that I'm extremely grateful for, like that's given me that extra bit of motivation to like, really push myself even further because they've made that sacrifice purely to help me grow my game. And that's something really special and that not many people have that in their lives.
And of course, Karnataka has a huge pedigree of
Yep.
cricketers. You would know that St. Joseph's has a huge pedigree of cricketers. The decision to move schools there, what was the system that is still in place, I believe,
Right.
to support athletes, to support cricketers? What was your day like? I mean, you didn't attend, you were excused from classes?
Yeah, not too many.
No.
I've not been to too many classes, but
Yeah.
what I was there, it was really great. It's a lovely school to go to. And I always recommend people to join those whenever I'm talking to people. But yeah, like moving schools also was very important at that point. School cricket is pretty big in Karnataka. It's pretty big in Bangalore. So I had to make sure that I was in a school where cricket was given that prominence and like importance. So I had two options. It was either Joseph's or Cotton's. And for me, I don't know, I just felt Joseph's was the place to go to. And I just resonated a lot more with the people who were there. I had a few friends there. So it made a lot more sense. And it was pretty nerve-wracking, the whole process of getting into the school, because it's not easy in Bangalore to get into certain schools, right? Especially Joseph's for that matter. So meeting the principal and like how they, were so supportive of me playing cricket. And again, at that point, I'm still young, right? I'm still 13 years old, 12 years old, whatever it was. And uh, again, it was things would just fell in place perfectly for me, and I'm grateful for that.
Do you remember how competitive it was back then in school? Because it always ends up being competitive. So any stories to share from there in terms of the rivalry?
It's definitely extremely competitive, and every single game you are even more competitive in terms of your selection to your whatever it may be, like state sides or the zonal sides, whatever it may be. And as a kid, you are immature, right? You constantly want to be the best, and you don't care what's happening around you. You just want to like go and score runs. So yeah, that was pretty insane, to be honest. And especially playing in the Katonian Shield was one of our biggest moments for us, right? Playing in the rival school for that matter. And yeah, like that's my so far in my career, that's probably my only regret, that I've not won a Katonian Shield. So yeah, that's pretty disappointing. And it's funny because people ask me like, what is your like biggest regret so far in the game or whatever, and I always say that it is my school time when I missed out on a Katonian Shield, because that's how big it was for us, for the entire school at that point. So yeah.
That's how important it was for you.
Yeah.
When you get into the Karnataka setup first, who are the seniors who are around you, the stories that you've heard? There's such a rich pedigree from the state.
See, Kannada cricket has always had incredible cricketers throughout. It's not just the talent that they have, it's more to do with the people that they are. And that has translated from generations to generations throughout till now. Even now, there are so many people in the dressing room who you can learn from, who then create that culture moving forward as well. And I feel in Kannada cricket especially, everyone feels that responsibility to, really pass on that culture, because that's the essence of what Kannada cricket is. And when I came into the dressing room, obviously we had all of them. We had Vinay Kumar, we had KL Rahul, we had Stuart, we had Karun, we had everyone. Like it was a packed side. They had won 3-4 years back to back and things like that. And just going into that dressing room, you felt that, okay, these guys are winners. And when you have that kind of mentality around you, that definitely pushes you to improve as well.
That's a very significant line. You've said these guys are winners because they won at that phase quite a few back-to-back titles from 2013. And then a state with such a rich pedigree doesn't win those titles. So coming back now to recently having lifted the Vijay Hazare, you've done your national duties, you come back in fine form. You're obviously a prime target for bowlers, aren't you? Your wicket is the one that they're anticipating. All that pressure, that spotlight, that expectations, just playing in that, the Vijay Hazare, how comforting was that?
Yeah, it was really important for us to, get back to winning trophies. Like I said, now we have an entire young bunch of cricketers coming into that dressing room. So as guys who have been there for a while, like me, Mayank, Prasid, and the others, we have to make sure that we set that example again. like I said, we need to pass on that culture of winning, to be honest. And it was really important that we got that over the line. And when me and Prasid came back from the Indian side, came into the team with the intention to, actually make an impact and try and win that trophy for the side. And that was the conversation throughout. Like even when we were traveling back, we were just talking about how we could, really help this team win that trophy. And yeah, obviously in the end, winning it was something really important for us.
Now the conversations are a lot about the importance of domestic cricket. A lot of seniors are going and playing. But for you, what has been the value of domestic cricket? Because you have been playing.
Yeah, it's definitely very, very important, especially for a cricketer who is trying to make a mark at the highest level. You need to go through that grind.
Why is it such a grind? Help us understand.
Yeah, there are no shortcuts really in domestic cricket. There is nowhere to hide. You are constantly playing for the entirety of like 6 months, 5, 6 months, and there is no room for tiredness. There are no room for breaks because you are pushing to reach the next level, right? You cannot take your step back when you are trying to reach the next level, because the moment you take your foot off the gas, someone else takes that spot, right? So domestic cricket, that's the part of domestic cricket that is really, really challenging, because it's like how I spoke about school cricket. It's translated now into domestic cricket as you grow older, because that competitiveness translates to domestic cricket. And when you're playing at that level and you have, let's say, 400, 500 elite cricketers playing at domestic level, then to make it out of that into the next 15 players that play for India is obviously a big step up, right? So that is the grind that we all talk about, because you have to do it year after year, again and again, to eventually make it to that 15. Because to go from 400, 500 to 15, you cannot just skip steps. You cannot skip that progression and like go play 2 games and go straight up to the senior side. It very rarely happens. So it's very important that you really, go through that progression and try and learn as much as possible as you play multiple years of domestic cricket.
How intense though is the competition? We look at your generation and say you're fearless, and you're now talking about a younger generation coming.
Yeah.
How intense, how competitive is it in terms of sports?
Yeah.
Does it bother you in a way? Is it at the back of your mind when you're going through your process?
It definitely affects your mindset.
Yeah.
Because there are so many cricketers in India. Like the sheer number of people wanting to play for the country is huge. So when you have that opportunity, when you have that, privilege of playing for the country and playing even for the state, to be honest, even playing for Karnataka is not easy. So, when you have that opportunity within you, you have to, really take that with both hands. And it's about being grateful, really to be given that opportunity. It's not that easy to come about, and that's something that's really important.
So when you're talking about, watching RCB matches and you're emerging as your own cricketer, what format are you keen to play? Are you just imagining T20s? Because I know you played Test cricket for the country, which is absolute prime.
Yeah.
So what was the format that you first envisioned yourself actually playing for the country in?
Growing up, my dad watched a lot of Test cricket, and that's how I started watching cricket as well. So Test cricket has always been something different, like something that is beyond like normalcy. For me, Test cricket has always been the gold standard of cricket. And to be part of a Test setup, to be part of Test series, it's something that is very hard to match in any other tournament, in any other format. So for me personally, at least, it's always been Test cricket.
Who did your father follow? Who were the people that made an impression on you when you were watching those matches? Do you remember any particular match actually?
Not really. I can't really pinpoint any matches, but what the fondest memory of watching cricket with my dad is when we used to wake up at like 3 in the morning when the New Zealand Test series used to happen, the Australian Test series used to happen. At that point, it wasn't like tailored to the Indian audience, right? So it used to happen early in the morning, and uh, I just remember I used to wake up, go to my dad's room and sit with him and watch while my mom is asleep, and she used to get annoyed about it. But yeah, like those are the fondest memories of mine from back in the day.
I'm sure the routine was pretty different when you had to get up and play Test cricket for the country and make your own debut. My gosh, talk me through that process and the day and the emotions about it.
Yeah, it was incredible. Obviously, it was a bit last minute. I was told the previous day that there is a possibility that I could play that game, because leading up to the game, the last 3-4 days, I knew that I probably won't play. But the day before the game is when I was told, okay, yeah, there is a chance that you could play because Rajat wasn't fully fit. So I was like, okay. I just said, okay, sir, yeah, that's fine. And then once that conversation finished and that reality sunk in that, okay, there is a chance that I could play, that's when it really hit me and I couldn't sleep the rest of the night. Which is not ideal when you're going to play your first test match for India.
But you still don't know for sure.
Yeah, I still don't know.
Yeah.
So that uncertainty was not fun at all. But that's how it went. So I woke up in the morning. The routines were the same. Like nothing much changed apart from that. I just went to the ground, started my warm ups, and that's when Rahul sir came up to me and said that yes, you will be playing your first game and you'll be making your debut. And I couldn't stop smiling once I heard that. And from there on, everything just happened so quickly. And that day goes by so fast. It's very difficult to savor that moment. But once I got back to the room and like just looked at my cap and just sat with it for a while and just took it all in, and that was really special.
So you were told on the ground, right? So your phone is already away. So there's
Yeah.
no chance of telling your family that this moment
Yeah,
is
no
going to
chance.
happen.
Yeah.
So were they just watching in anticipation?
Yeah.
I mean, now talking back to them, how did that play out for them when they found out you were actually getting the cap?
Usually what happens is that the family gets notified like probably the night before you're making your debut so that they can make it to the ground and be there for your cap presentation and stuff like that. But since this was a last minute decision, obviously they didn't know. And I remember like I really wanted to let them know once I was going to receive the cap, but obviously you don't have your phones and you can't do that. So that's how it went. But they obviously saw it once they showed Ash giving me the cap on TV, and obviously I'm sure that it would have been a big surprise for them as well, and a really proud moment for them as well.
What was, when you got the cap, what was the conversation?
When Ash gave me the cap, obviously you have heard that a speech that he gave, and he spoke about how I've reached that stage and what I had to go through before that and things like that. And that was really nice, just that personalization, that touch of class that he had for the words that he said was something that will stay with me forever.
Maga. Weather andre perfect fit. Cinema andre super hit. 10 minutes andre.
Boys, big basket. 10 minutes andre big basket. 10 minutes andre big basket.
Big Basket, delivering in Bengaluru and everywhere in 10 minutes.
Now, when you say what you have to go through, you've spoken about it, but a lot of people don't realize the health journey that you've
Yep.
been on and how challenging that has been. So when did it come to you that, something is not right because you're such a young cricketer, you're an elite athlete, you're actually in the prime.
Yep.
When did you start feeling that something is not right, it should not be the way it should be?
Yeah, it was during, I think, the 2022 IPL. We were in the bubble in Mumbai, and my stomach wasn't great, and I just assumed it's just, some food poisoning or something like that, and it's just normal and it'll pass. But it it kept getting worse and worse and worse. And at the same time, you're playing cricket at the highest level, so you need to keep up in terms of your physicality, playing that tournament, right? So you cannot, just walk away from an IPL or just say that, okay, I'm not fit enough, I'm not going to play. I really pushed myself a lot more than I probably should have in that phase, and that is what caused me to eventually, sort of have to take a break and, try and focus on my health. Yeah, so that was really hard. Like, so then I got diagnosed after the IPL with gastrointestinal disease, and the worst part about that was all the weight I was losing. So when you're playing at the highest levels and you are not fully fit physically, it then puts so many other challenges in your head mentally as well, and because you just don't back your physical ability to play the sport to the highest level. So yeah, I feel that's where it became a real problem, and I had to make sure then that I went through the right steps to really get back to my full health.
But it's a constant journey for you, right? It's something you have to keep maintaining. So
Yeah.
what does your routine involve into, so making sure that everything goes right for you, digestively, that you're getting enough nutrition and power?
Yeah, it is going to
Because
be
it involves a lot of travel. Right?
right.
Being a
Right.
cricketer involves a lot of
Exactly.
travel.
Exactly. So that's a challenging part, especially during an IPL,
Yeah.
because everything gets mixed up, right? Your meal times are different. You sleep at different times. Nothing is really consistent. So it's very difficult, especially during IPLs, to maintain that. But as much as possible, I'm trying to, eat the right things. Obviously, I have a diet in place that I need to follow and things to avoid and stuff like that. But now I'm at a place where it's a lot more relaxed. It's a lot more controlled because I, spent 2 years of eating just bland food and having no spices, no gluten, no milk, nothing.
Yeah.
So because I put in that effort for those couple of years, now I'm in a position where, okay, I can now maintain it pretty well. So I'm thankful for that.
Oh gosh, if food doesn't bring you joy, what brings you joy?
Yeah, seriously, like for those 2 years, I'm telling you, it was really hard because
What was the thing they craved the most that you had to give up?
I think gluten, to be fair, like I used to have a lot of bread and chapati and things like that. And that's something that was a staple in my diet, right? Like, especially as Indians, we have a lot of chapati and stuff every day. So, yeah, so probably that was the one thing that I craved a lot. I'm not a big sweet tooth person, so I don't really have that craving. But yeah, definitely, I feel gluten was something that I really struggled to avoid, and I had to do it for 2 years. Yeah. I hope I don't have to go back to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we hope that you're given a few more breaks.
Right.
Role definition is so important, right? Especially when you're a batting unit, and especially now you rejoined RCB, you understand what it's like. This is a team that has always been looked at as having the heavy hitters. You've done it in one season, you got
Right.
those back-to-back 50s.
Yeah.
Now you've come back and things change, the different players, different roles.
Yeah.
We just had a conversation with DK as well, speaking about how he's been working with you. What have you been told about your role particularly?
It's been really clear, although it says I'm an impact player, my actual role is also to just make that impact, just knowing what I have to do in that short period of time. Uh, Always I used to come into IPLs thinking, okay, I have to get 400, 500 runs or something like that. And it always used to be volume of runs. But now it's been very clear from the coaching setup as well as from my side that it's more about, what I need to do to just propel the team forward and keep the momentum going in the phase that I go into bat. And if that may be for 5 balls, it may be for 15 balls, it does not matter. Like for me, that's more important, that to push the momentum, keep going forward. Because at times, as I was, learning and as I was growing as a cricketer, it's very challenging to, let go of your personal aspirations and really put the team at the forefront, especially as a youngster, it's not easy because you want to succeed. You want to,
One milestone.
yeah,
right?
you want to go to the next level. And in India, we have grown up knowing or feeling that you need to get those volume of runs to, really move forward in your career. But I feel IPL has grown to such an extent that players and batsmen especially have started to realize that it's more important what you do in that short role, if you are fulfilling that role to fulfillment, and then if you do that consistently, you will get those runs eventually, and that will help the team in the long run as well. So it's all about trying and executing your role to perfection.
Interestingly, for you, always perceived as like a top order batter, has there been some sort of mental, adjustments for you to now be that impact player and come in at any time?
Yeah, it's been a lot of adjustments, to be honest. Like I spoke about the last 3-4 years, I've moved all across the batting order, right?
This is
Yeah, so it's T20 cricket has become so specialized in terms of positions of certain batsmen. The finishers need to come in at a certain over. The one bowler comes in and bowls 1 over when this certain batsman has the matchup. So it's become so analytical and so specific. I feel as batsman also your mindset has to evolve, has to change. For me to make that shift at a young age, because like I said, again, I was 21 when I started playing in the middle order, and till 21 I was opening, right? So once I made that shift, obviously it took me time, and that's something that happens naturally. It doesn't, because like I said, it's so specialized, so specific. it's not that hard to just suddenly make that shift from being an opener to batting lower down the order. So those 4 years has given me all the tools I need and all the learning that I need to really, now put it into use.
Tell me one thing now, when we put that from the Indian perspective, the Indian test setup perspective,
Yeah.
are you allowed that? Are you allowed that little bit of flexibility, or are you still categorized as a batter who will bat in a certain position, and that's how you fit into a team?
Especially in the test side, not really. It's my position is pretty flexible. I've even for the India A side, I batted at number 5, number 4, 3, and I've opened. So I've pretty much played all across.
Following KL,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Karnataka teammate.
Yeah. KL and I have had those conversations
I
a
would
little
imagine.
bit. Yeah. So I've spoken to him about it, and that's the way the game is going. Really, as a batsman, you need to be able to play at any phase of the game, and especially if you are someone who's trying to evolve your game, it is going to be like that for a period of time. It's not going to be easy for you to hold down a position, because, like I said, the current cricketers who are coming up in T20 cricket, they are working towards their specialized roles, and they are already prepared to really do that job to the fullest. But the guys who were playing cricket before that, who are like working the game in a certain way to suit a certain position or to suit test cricket and stuff like that, their games have to change remarkably to like really adjust to what currently is going on in the IPL. So yeah, it's a bit of a challenge, but at the same time, I've enjoyed doing that, because cricket always gives you something to learn, and every year that I've come into the IPL or been in the test side or playing domestic cricket, you just keep learning, and as much as possible you have to try and evolve your game. You cannot just stay stuck and stay what do you call it, cannot
Evolution
just,
is
you cannot just be stagnant in your sport. So I feel that's where I'm trying to improve.
Being flexible, what is the takeaway from that conversation that you and KL have had? Your own lessons, and you're learning from him, and the impact that he himself had, because he's applying it to different formats, all formats really,
Right.
for India.
It's more of a role model to have, right? Because of the way my cricketing career is going, it's pretty similar in terms of the path that KL had. And when you have someone to look up to like that, it's always really great to have. And when you have someone like that within your state camp, it's pretty special as well. Yeah, just having him around, just talking to him about how his mindsets have changed, and how he puts practice times in terms of what he needs to do to like shift from maybe an opener to a middle order batsman, things like that. The preparation is what matters the most. On the ground you're playing 15 balls, but when you're practicing, you're playing thousands of balls every single day, right? So that's the part of the game that matters the most, like the process that you have, the preparation that you have. So if you get that right is when you go on and translate that onto the ground, and those are the conversations I feel with KL that have really helped a lot.
You're sharing a dressing room with Virat. You have someone like DK who is your mentor, but growing up, you admired players like Yuvraj Singh and Gautam Gambhir, who's now incidentally is your coach. Let's talk about UV. I mean, UV is an absolute icon. He represented inspired a generation of players to just be fighters. What did you take away from watching UV and any interactions you would have had with him?
Yeah, it's just his fearlessness. He's fought through a lot of things in life, and obviously all that he did outside the cricket field is something incredible. But for me personally, when I watched him bat, it was just, as a left-hander, I just loved watching him bat. I feel a lot of left-handers, if you ask them who was the most good-looking left-hander to watch, it was probably Yuvraj Singh. The elegance with which he batted, and I just love watching him bat for that matter, and even Gautam Gambhir for that matter. It was just watching him bat, the shots that he played, just helped me, mold my game in terms of what I wanted to be as a left-hander. The kind of shots that I want to be playing, and just looking at them play those cover drives, looking at Dewey flicking the ball and stuff like that. It was just great role models to have.
UV also with the whole documenting his battle with his entire health journey and the fact that he's come back into cricket. Have you ever been able to have those sort of conversations with him? Could be very relevant because you yourself have had that struggle.
I've not really had a chance to speak to him yet, but I'm sure if I do get that opportunity, I will ask him about it because it wasn't easy what he did, right? It was something that nobody expected him to come through and play cricket again, but to be the fighter that he is and to really fight that and then make his comeback to the most highest level of cricket is not that easy, because again, like I said, the competition is so high. So by the time he came back, there were so many other cricketers who had come in to the senior side. So for him to do that and to really, again come back and perform as well shows how much of a fighter he was and what he had within himself. So yeah, that's something I would love to talk to him about.
But you certainly had conversations with Gautam Gambhir. Is there like a favorite innings or a favorite knock that you've discussed with him or asked him questions about?
Obviously the innings that everyone remembers is the World Cup final, and
He downplays it so much.
He's a character like that, and to be honest, he's had numerous innings that I've loved watching him bat. Even in the IPL when he used to come out, I feel he was really important for the side, and as a captain as well, he led the team brilliantly. And that's what you look at, right? As a cricketer, you want to see what difference you can make to the side, and if you have people around you who have created that impact over their careers, you obviously want to learn from them.
But the conversations that you have had with Gauti, considering you've grown up admiring his style of play, what sort of impact has it made on you?
Yeah, there were quite a few like technical stuff that we spoke about during the test series, and I'm sure that will put me in good stead in terms of improving my game as well. And it's not huge changes, but again, like I said, similarly with DK, these guys have played cricket for so long and they've had so much tactical experience in terms of how to deal with certain situations. And when you have those conversations, especially with Gautiba as well, it really helps you, mold your game in such a way that you are ready for different situations.
Your generation has seen like this massive shift in the way that Test cricket is being played now. I mean, the way that England play the Test format, and we wonder, especially India at home have played with that sort of approach as well. Does it always work? Like you, how do you view it, considering you're someone who grew up watching Test cricket? Has it changed the way that we need to play it?
I don't think the fundamentals have changed really, but I'm sure there are a lot more results in Test cricket than there used to be. There were a lot more draws back in the day, but I feel that's where the mindset has shifted a little bit, because people want to win every single Test match. Obviously, each Test match has points to it, and for the Test championship and stuff like that. So the moment you have that mindset of winning the Test, automatically your batting or your bowling or your field sets, everything have to be a little bit more aggressive. I don't think it's a huge difference, but it's just finding that balance really of keeping the scoreboard ticking as well as spending time out there on the ground, because you still have 5 days, right? It's not like they have reduced a day in the match, so it's still, I feel the fundamentals still remain pretty much the same, and that's really important that it stays like that.
There's such an impressive young generation of Indian cricketers that are, wearing the whites around the Test setup, to still have players like Virat Kohli there. Of course, you share different dressing rooms with him, but during this tour in Australia, what were some of the conversations like? It was a hard tour for everyone. It was a hard tour. What were the lessons in that tour and the conversations that you may have had with Virat during that period?
Again, for me, the most important thing to see during that entire series was how everyone's preparation was so accurate, so well defined throughout the entire tour, because it's easy when you're not doing well or when you are doing well to shift from what your process is and try and do something different or over analyze it or not at all care about it and things like that. So when you have that consistency in your preparation, eventually those results will come, and at the highest level, that's very, very important, because I feel at a lower level of cricket, a lot of people are not consistent enough with their preparation, and that's why some of them don't make it to the highest level. So when you see all these top level cricketers who have played cricket for so many years, who have had so many net sessions, still come into every session with the same intent, with the same level of focus and determination to improve. That's what, as a young cricketer growing up, you want to try and emulate as well. And obviously having people like Virat, KL, Rohit, and people like that who continue to do that no matter how many years of cricket and experience they have behind them, makes you as a youngster also really push and try and make that same level of commitment and determination.
Maga. Weather andre perfect fit. Cinema andre super hit. 10 minutes andre
ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬಿಗ್ ಬಾಸ್ಕೆಟ್ 10 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಗ್ ಬಾಸ್ಕೆಟ್ 10 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಗ್ ಬಾಸ್ಕೆಟ್
Big Basket, delivering in Bengaluru and everywhere in 10 minutes.
So this season for RCB, like you said, you're looking in terms of impact. What have the conversations been with DK? Because DK spoke about the role that he had for you specifically. So what have your conversations been in terms of the kind of impacts you need to believe? And also, do you believe in matchups?
Matchups, yes, to an extent. I think it, like I said, it's become very specialized, and those things do happen. There are numbers and stats which are not always the most accurate, but still most of the time it does work, and it does happen. And obviously DK has been a real amazing coach to have. He has so much knowledge. He's just come out of a T20 cricket, right? And he's still playing, in fact. Having someone who's had that experience of T20 cricket so recently makes a big difference, because he understands
What's the
what
most helpful thing he's told you since you had a conversation?
yeah, it's just tactically, right?
Yeah.
Because he's played the game till now, and he's been so involved in IPL cricket over the years. He understands how bowlers think, how different bowling attacks think in terms of what their plans would be to you. And when you have that tactical knowledge in terms of telling you, okay, this is what you can try to this bowler specifically when he bowls that ball. So just having that tactical knowledge has really improved my game in terms of trying to preempt what the bowler is going to do. And he has been always been really good at that, and that's why he's been so successful. He's been able to predict what the bowler is going to do next. He's always a step ahead, and that's something I'm really trying to pick up from him.
The match against Chennai, we saw you take down spin. That's obviously a role that your captain Rajat Patidar has been the designated spin basher for RCB for the last couple of seasons. When you're working in tandem like that, how do you get partnerships going? How do you collaborate? Because we just view it now as the game having changed towards power.
Yeah.
But is that also still really necessary? The running between the wickets, the communication?
Yeah, the conversations that you have as teammates, as two batsmen in the middle, is very, very important, because uh, there are two people whose voices you hear while you're on the field, right? One is yours and one is your.
Sometimes the wicket
not
keeper
right.
also.
Yeah, but that gets blurred out.
It's noise.
Yeah, but it's so those two voices are really important, because what they say to you really makes a difference in terms of what your mindset is going into an over. Like, for example, when Jadeja came on to bowl, Virat just told me that you have go for it. Like,
Yeah.
you can really take him down. And I knew before that over that when he's coming on to bowl, that is going to be my role. But just him saying that just pushes you that little bit more, and just puts you into that zone a little bit more. And that extra bit of focus helps you really take him down. And those are the kind of conversations I feel when you are in the middle in a partnership, that's really important.
Actually, how did it feel as an opposition team walking into
Yeah.
this ground?
Yeah, it was weird.
Because your friends and family must have been wearing RCB, right?
No, they were supporting me.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, I have
That's true love.
Yeah. Coming out to play for other teams against RCB was always a little bit weird. Yes, obviously, uh, I'm still motivated the same way in terms of wanting to perform and doing things for the franchise I was playing for. But always had that soft spot for RCB, and always looked at the games as games I love to watch and see them do well as well. I've always wanted to play in front of the Chinnaswamy in the IPL, and whenever I've come here and played for other teams, it's not been the same, to be honest. I've had good days, but it's never felt the same in terms of doing it for RCB, right? And when I was in RCB, unfortunately, we couldn't have games in Chinnaswamy, and that was pretty heartbreaking.
Where's that bat that you scored the 50 with?
It's at home. I've kept it aside, kept it only for my test matches whenever I play. So I've kept it separate.
So that will be used again for playing
Right.
Test cricket for India again. I like that because that's manifestation
Yeah.
right there. What about, I mean, the quality of bats that you see around you when it comes to the IPL is a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
To see who has what in their kit bag. So who
Yeah.
was the best bats? I mean, Virat, I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
that's not really
That's not,
tough
that's a silly question, sorry.
Yeah, that's not a tough question to answer. But to be honest, everybody has good bats now.
Yeah.
I feel SS, especially the bats that I get from SS, are incredible, uh, and I feel they're doing a great job. And obviously, everyone once they come into the dressing room, especially in RCB or on the Indian side, the first thing they do is go pick
See
up
it.
Virat's bats
Yeah.
and just pick them up and try and emulate what he does every day on the field. Yeah, so everyone wants one of his bats. I'm sure there'll be a lot of guys in this dressing room as well.
I used to hear that the Karnataka setup was like that as well. There was a lot of sharing, seniors giving like bats and, kits and all that. Did something like that ever happen with
That happens a lot because everyone that comes into the dressing room looks at the senior most player on the side and expects them to give a bat. They don't even ask them for a bat. They just know, okay, yeah, he's supposed to give me a bat.
Yeah.
So it's just
Did anyone give you a bat? Did you make runs with him? Someone else's bat?
for me, at least, I've not been someone who takes bats from others. Like, I've always been someone who's had my couple of bats that I use for 3-4 years. So I don't really ask others for bats. So, like, yeah, for me personally, at least, I've not taken anyone's
And
bat.
now people will be asking for yours.
I've
Very
already given out quite a few. So
now I got the answer you.
yeah.
A franchise like this is so much more than just in terms of being about the cricket. It's because you've been part of it, you understand the loyalty, you understand the fan base, you understand the attention that comes with it. You're doing promo shoots, interviews like this every single day. How do you continue to keep yourself, because you got attention very, very young.
Right.
What are the lessons there to continue to keep yourself in the balance or to continue to keep yourself grounded? Have there been challenges for you in that period?
I feel the most important part is the people you have around you, because it's very easy for everyone around you to just, keep putting you up on a pedestal and like keep treating you as if you're something bigger than what you are. Especially as cricketers in India, that's how things happen, right? People have a lot of respect for us, but at the same time, they have this superstar image and that adulation that comes with it. And when you have so many people around you who are like that, who want to put you on a pedestal, who want to treat you as if you are something bigger than the game, it's very important that you have people around you in your close circle who, just treat you for who you are, just as another friend, as a son, as a brother, a sister, whatever it is. So I feel that helped me having those people around me to just be who I am, because it's very easy to change yourself as you grow older, especially as a cricketer, to become something else over the years. You learn, you evolve, obviously, but at the same time, it's important that you stay true to who you were before all this happened.
As a young player in the system, are there structures or systems in place to help you make financial decisions, agencies to help you with what sort of endorsements you should be doing, managing your social media? Are all those sort of structures in place?
I feel it's become a lot more prominent over the last few years. I feel there is a lot more information and knowledge out there in terms of how to deal with stuff like that. Obviously, having people like that is very, very important because there is obviously a lot of money in cricket now, and not everybody understands how to put that into use the right way. And it's very easy to like just let that aspect of the game just be there and ignore it. But in the long run, it's important that you actually look after yourself, because cricket is a very short career, and you don't play for 40, 50 years. You don't work for 60 years like you do in other jobs, right?
Yeah.
It's very important that we have those people around, and hopefully that will keep improving as well.
Okay, so what was your most luxurious buy and what was your most sensible buy with your with your first big paycheck?
I don't think there are any sensible buys really.
Okay, what has been your most fun buy?
Yeah, so the most luxurious buy, I think, is the car that I got. So I got a Range Rover Sport, like, I think 2 years ago now.
Nice.
That was always my
In
dream
Bangalore
car.
traffic?
Yeah, it's the only good thing is,
Taking it out in traffic.
yeah, I have the good part about having a car like that in Bangalore traffic is at least you're sitting in comfort. you're not moving in comfort, but at
But
least
you're
you're
just
sitting
sitting.
in comfort. So
I like the
I feel that is still a part of the car that I enjoy. So that's probably my most luxurious expense for sure. Yeah.
How do you unwind? How do you have fun? I mean, take the pressure off yourself because you're
Yeah.
in the middle of it, aren't you?
Yeah. So up until like a year ago, for me, it was all about, PlayStation and FIFA and stuff like that. And
Because you watch a lot of football, right?
yeah, I really love my football. So whenever there's football on, I'm watching football, or otherwise I was playing FIFA. So and now I've reached that age, I guess, that FIFA has slightly become.
Now you reached
Yeah,
that age. Aren't you
finally.
like 25 or something?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you
I've
gave it up.
finally moved past the FIFA stage. So for me now, actually, my current hobby is coffee. So I just recently purchased a coffee machine, and I grind my own beans, and
I'm sure that works really well in this setup with a lot of the overseas players.
yes, I brew my own shot of coffee as well. So that's what I'm trying to, learn
I
as
see a business plan being formulated. in a
yeah,
couple of
I would
years.
definitely love to have
Yep.
a cafe at some point, and hopefully I can do that at some point.
Every Bangalore boy's dream.
Yeah.
You are living every Bangalore boy's dream. Of course, you worked incredibly hard for it.
Right.
Do you feel the pressure or understand this how to sustain the fact that you're going to have to keep maintaining this consistency
Yeah.
when you have those conversations with yourself? How
Yeah.
does it go? Because obviously, your ambition is
Yeah.
to continue to play for the
Right.
country as well. You have
Right.
that option, yeah.
It's important that you just take one day at a time. In cricket, you never know what's going to happen in the next game. You don't know what's going to happen in the next practice session. So I think when I was younger, I was probably focused on having long-term goals, and at the start of the year, maybe saying, okay, I have to get so many runs this year, I have to play for the country this year, and stuff like that. But now it's become a lot more react to what happens on a day-to-day basis. And when you are in that kind of a zone, I feel it gives you a lot more peace of mind. It gives you, that little bit of calmness that's very important when everything is going so quickly, right, in your life. So yeah, so for me, I think it's as simple as that, just to take it one day at a time and see where it goes.
But I mean, you do get these, it happens, you do in this day and age of social media, you do get these tags
Right.
associated, even if you're very invested in your
Right,
game
right.
and it's just part of the parcel. It's
Yeah.
part really of being part of this franchise
Right.
also.
Yeah.
Does it make you uncomfortable, this sort of attention that you get, or how exactly should we approach it?
Not really. Like at this point, I've made peace with it. I've gotten used to it. It's not something that I give too much attention to. It's just something that I style myself for myself, right? Like I just do it for myself, and I like to dress well. I like to be well put together, and what comes with that is just part of it. Like it's not something that you need to give too much attention to. And people, it's great to have people who admire you, who support you, and I always
Influence.
I always appreciate that level of support and really deep care in terms of wanting me to do well, and that's something nice to have.
So who has the worst style in this team?
Worst style.
You can say Mr. Nags, it's okay.
Oh yeah, of course.
Esther,
Snags and
the mustache is like 15 years old, 18 years old, is it?
I think he changes his mustache every like day, and each time it looks worse. Hopefully he can.
There's your bite right there. That's for Nax's show.
Yeah, hopefully he can find something better.
Who's got best style?
I feel Virat is pretty good.
Team stylish. I mean, look at all.
Yeah. KP is pretty good as well. He's funky as well, and that's something that's not easy to pull off. So I would say those two.
Who is the most invested, like in music, in dressing room atmosphere, the DJ of your group?
It's actually Virat. He's the one with the speaker all the time. He's the one choosing the playlist, and he's the one dancing in the dressing room as well. So it's always him.
It's always in
Yeah.
the RCB, like the unboxing event, which is like a concert. Like, how do you view it as a franchise to be a part of that, as a player to be a part of that? Because you just said before a match you want to tune everything out.
Yeah.
You can't tune anything.
Yeah. The unbox event was something so out of the ordinary. Like I couldn't believe that something like that was possible before an IPL match. Like even in an IPL match, I wouldn't imagine something like that could happen. So for that to happen in a practice session is insane. So just filling up the entire stadium, all the performers that came out, it was an incredible spectacle. And especially when they were announcing the names of all the players, and when they were introducing us, just to be walking out to the stage with my name being announced in the Chinnaswamy Stadium was something really nice, and yeah, I enjoyed that.
Thank you so much, Devdutt, for joining us. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you can do.
Thank you.
So our digital partners, Big Basket, have this hamper for you. I'm not so sure with your dietary restrictions what you can have. I know there's coffee.
Okay.
I know there's some healthy snacks. For sure, there's some healthy snacks. And there's some headphones.
Perfect.
So please enjoy the hamper, and thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Big Basket presents the RCB podcast.